This is going to be the most challenging policy as well as how to implement the reform in China. Shifting from the investment and export reliance growth into a more domestic and consumption growth. That will require a lot of policy adjustment and most importantly, sometimes the reform that will provide or create a trade-off, a difficult trade-off. I think urbanization has become one of the most important part of this shifting the growth model in China, and that is going to be required both on a very sensitive area, for example, like land policy, land management, imposing a tax on a property that is going to be also substituting the revenue of the local government, which until now is relying on selling land and converting into an urban space. That is the area which is also close to the very sensitive area of the shadow banking and how the source of financing and local government. So in order to maintain the growth at 7.5%, but better quality and more inclusive, definitely the change is really needed.
Right. Yeah, and of course all these reforms are very sensitive and of course a lot of difficult decisions will have to be made. I mean, are you satisfied about the tangible reforms and changes that have been made in order to reach those targets of rebalancing?
Well, the leaders is actually announcing a package of reform which is actually moving to the right direction. If you look at both the exchange rate widening, the trading ban, and also in terms of how to curb the financing which is coming from the shadow banking. At this moment also, I think Chinese leaders recognize the inefficiency and less reliance on investment. I think this is the area which is moving to the right direction. There are so many other maybe prerequisites to make it happen. For example, like to make it inclusive, they have to change the hukou system. That is going to not only require the fiscal space or the ability to finance it, but also in terms of the ability to provide the services to many of migrants moving from the rural to the city area. And also in terms of local government finance. As I said earlier, this is going to require a different source of revenue that will provide more sustainable for local government to provide services to their own citizen or cities population.
Sri Mulyani, you know, the authorities in China have been quite emphatic about the need to change their economy, rebalance it towards domestic consumption, as you just pointed out to. However, even though they've widened the trading ban, it's been pretty much a one-way bet down here. Do you think that they're doing it to support the economy or really flush out these speculators?
Well, I guess the direction of the policy is actually aligned and consistent with the idea of Chinese leader to adopt more market mechanism, both in a capital market, labor market, and a land market. In this case, this is moving to the right direction. I think on the exchange rate, the movement is really actually reflecting first, of course, the reaction of the market, but I think in the medium and long run is more on the fundamentals.